Welcome back to Coach Bill's Sports Show. I'm Coach Bill. Thank you for watching. If it's your first time with us, we do pretty much anything football related. College football, pro football, fantasy football, NCAA 14. Working on how to diagnose and break down some plays, even some live action plays for you. So if it's football related, we cover it here. Thank you for joining us. Let's huddle up and let's get into today's episode. So it was just announced over this weekend that we're going to a 12-team college football playoff in 2026. That's huge. Huge news. There's still some details to come out about it, but here's some of the things I'm looking forward to with it. I think it will lead to an automatic automatic qualifier for the conference championships, which puts Ernest back onto the conference championships again. I think that's very big for all of the Power 5 teams. Very big for all the Power 5 conferences as well, because now you don't have to be in one of the bigger conferences as the SEC or the SEC, ACC, or Big Ten. You can still be, Big 12, Pac-12, and have a representative in the playoffs. It also is helpful for the group of 5. I think something that will come out about it, if they don't guarantee a group of 5, I'll be very surprised. Probably be the highest ranked group of 5 as it was. I think that's going to happen just as a way to... They saw the bump they got from Cincinnati playing in the college football playoffs, and they realized, hey, if we keep allowing a group of 5 team to kind of step up and show out, then it will expand the playoff and expand the brand. I think this does slow down expansion for the time being. It will hold teams to the conferences that are currently in, just because you don't know how it's going to shake out yet. Once we get more information, the expansion will probably kick off again. But as it stands, I think they will, lack of a better term, kind of stall out expansion right now. This will also be helpful for the teams that are almost there. So we all know Alabama, Ohio State, the Clemsons of the world, the Georgias. We all know those top-tier programs and that they're typically in consideration every year. But the next level downs, the Texas A&Ms, the Tennessees, the Michigans, the Oregons, the Baylors, those, it would be huge. It'll be huge for even the NC States of the world to make that playoff, because you can now show progression as a coach and a better stage to put your players on, which will only help them with their draft capital, with their NILs, with all of that. So I think it's going to have a lot to do with a more balancing approach to college football. Now, I'm not saying it's going to balance college football. That's going to take a long time to happen, because as far as it stands, there's going to be the teams that have and the teams that have not. It just is what it is. The schools that have invested into their college athletics, look at Alabama, look at Clemson, Ohio State. Those schools have seen rewards not just with their football programs, but with their other programs as well. For take it to Alabama, for example. Their basketball team used to be a laughing stock in the SEC. Now it's a solid group, year in and year out. Their softball team is not a laughing stock. Their track and field is becoming dominant, and all that is due to Alabama investing into the school and investing into the athletics programs. I think because of how it's going to shake down, where the first four ranked teams will get a bye, the next group of teams down, the next four, so 5, 6, 7, and 8, will be hosting a college football playoff game. I think that is going to help the schools tremendously. Not just the schools, but the coaches, the programs, the student athletes, all of that. It gives an extra home game for a lot of these schools, which is big, especially for the fan bases that haven't really been there before. I live in North Carolina, and I know if NC State was able to host a college football playoff game, it doesn't matter who it's against, but they could host a college football playoff game in that 5 to 8 range, it would be huge for NC State. Huge. Right now, nobody really owns North Carolina when it comes to college football. You got Appalachian State, NC State, UNC, East Carolina. There's a lot of competition in the state for the dominant school in the state. So if one of those teams could host a college football playoff, that's going to take steps, huge steps for that program and for that school and that institution. Now, I don't think it balances out everything. I don't think it solves all the problems. But if they do go to the 5 Power Fives having a set bid and a Power 6 team being in a group of 5 team being invited every year, you will start to see the group of 5 in particular having more dominant teams, which will lead to more expansion. For instance, I've said North Carolina, I'll stick with that. Appalachian State is in the Sun Belt. But they've been a traditionally strong team. And with that being said, they can add value not only with football, with a couple other sports as well, but they can add value into a Power 5 conference. Let's say I'd hate to put them in the SEC, but I'll use the SEC as an example. Say SEC wants a foothold into North Carolina, because right now the only schools in North Carolina that are Power 5 or ACC. So let's say the SEC or the Big Ten wants in. Boom, there's a route there. If they can show that, hey, we're competing at the highest level, we're making the college football playoff because we're the highest ranked group of 5 team, then they can make their own case to move up, which is huge for group of 5s. Like Cincinnati last year makes the college football playoffs. They don't do the greatest, but they are respectful. And then it comes out that they're moving into the Big 12. So I don't think it'll be that quick of a return for a lot of these schools, but I can definitely see opportunities for these schools, especially with the ACC needing to grow, with the Big 12 and the Pac-12 needing to grow. I can definitely see an opportunity for these group of 5 schools to move up to the Power 5 and get more involved and get more for their institutions. I'm 100% in favor of this 12-team college football playoff, especially with what I've seen where it's going to be the first round is going to be a home game for a team. I think that's huge. I think that not only is that huge for the school itself, but for that fan base, for that program, for everything that is around that school. And I don't think it's going to be a consistent thing. I think, yes, we will have those consistent powers of Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson out of the ACC. You will have those true big name powers. But I think that next tier down has always kind of rotated. So there could be matchups where, Michigan State makes it 1 year and then they're gone for 3 years and then they make it a 5th year. So that cycle in that next tier, that first round of playoff games, is going to be amazing to watch, amazing to see, and it's going to bring a lot of competition, a lot more competition to college football, which is great for a fan, great for shows like mine where we just hop on here and get to talk football. And it's great for, essentially anybody who loves the game. I think it's a great step forward. Absolutely amazing. Can't wait for it. I wish there was a chance for us to pull it forward from 2026, but the way I'm seeing things and the way I'm hearing about things, I don't think that'll happen. I would love to see it happen sooner rather than later, but it looks like 2026 is where we'll have to wait. This can only be helpful to the sport as a whole. This should only be helpful to the sport as a whole. And it should do amazing things for the schools that are able to compete and are able to join the playoff. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know if there's any negatives that you see or any positives I might have missed out on for a 12-team college football playoff. Like I said, I'm super excited. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Ready, break.